Hey everybody, it's been 4 months since my brain surgery, 121 days. And it is crazy what I'm going to get to say to you, and I'm so excited. It's been a crazy ride with everything I've faced, and who would have thought I would get to share this with you? Because before everything that's happening right now, people that have talked to me know what I've went through, the struggles, the changes, and brain surgery really stopped me. I had to deal with a lot of stuff from even Lily that I didn't even realize I had even dealt with. And so it's been really good for my heart and soul. I feel like God, He, as a silversmith, He puts you in a little fire. It's not like He creates things, but He uses it to help refine you. He really wants to get us to where He can see Himself, His own image in us. And I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. And God's still working on me. But it's just cool that I get to just be a vessel and let Him work. And I hope I get out of the way more than I get in His way. Because let me tell you, I'm good at getting in His way. I know a lot of us are. Cool thing is, my life has changed quite a bit. So before I tell you that, though, I have to let you know where I was. Um, Before surgery, I was working at a cafe. It was craziness. I'm telling you, I will never, ever complain about the food industry again because I know what they go through just a little bit behind the scenes, and they work their tails off. They do. Secondly, I worked at the preschool. They work all day with our children, helping feed into them, um, teaching them, helping them be better. That's what I'm hoping for all teachers. My daughter has wonderful preschool teachers that really do that. Even one day Piper came up to me and was saying, "Your name is Quissy," and I'm like, "Yes, it is." And she said, "Daddy's name is Michael," and I'm like, "Yes, it is." And then we had to talk about, who am I to you? Well, you're mommy, but your name is Quissy, and I'm like, okay. She's 2.5. So I'm like, what in the heck have they gone? What have they learned? But they had learned that our names, that we are real people, and I thought that's really cool that she knows that we are real people in this world, and that other people have us a different way than what she does. We are her mommy and daddy, but we're also Chrissy and Michael. So I just thought, how cool is that? A little reminder from God above that I am I am Chrissy, but I'm also a mother. I'm also a daughter. I'm also a sister. I'm also a friend. I'm a sister from another mother. Um, I'm also a worker. And those aren't who. Those are just things that describe what I do. But really, I'm Chrissy. God gave me Chrissy. That is my name. And there was a little topic of this on one of my devotionals that really talked about that, with God being Yahweh, and that really is His name. And all these other names we have for Him are what He does, who He is. So I thought that was really cool how that linked up lately, and God's been doing that a lot for me lately. But what's really cool is when I came back and I went through the depression, I've been trying to get back on track. I've been trying to lose weight. That's still been a roller coaster ride because that's life. I wanted to go back to my previous jobs. Even if I knew it was crazy and just all over the place, I still felt like I was drawn to want to go back. So every time I tried to go back and I was going to talk to my bosses that day, I was determined to go in and talk to both of them. Um, I would hurt so bad. The pain would increase. It would be awful, and I'd be like, okay, I can't. I'm not ready. And really, what was happening was it wasn't meant for me to go back, and that was really hard for me to accept, because I thought, well, I got to be doing something. And then right before spring break, God had given me an opportunity, and I'm excited because if you would have told me this was really what was going to happen, I would be like, oh, probably not, but that's okay. Whatever God wants for me, I'm going to do it. And I can tell you, number one, I will be at some point in time doing some sort of women's ministry somewhere. I'm hoping it's at my local church, but I'm just leaving that to God. But what's cool is He's training me in the meantime while I'm waiting to do some other things I love to do. So, number one, I'm actually an OSU Extension employee again. I'm a program assistant with a grant that we're doing. It's a Juntos 4-H grant program. and it's a little crazy because I only get 10 hours a week. So I have to, make sure that I'm really focused and I'm doing the 10 hours that's needed, but also trying to do what is really needed with the program. I'm getting to do the one piece that I absolutely, if I had to choose from any of it, because I loved it all, this one little piece would be what I love the most. And God's giving it to me, and I'm so excited. This week, I added that into my life, 10 hours, and then I added in working at the cafe more than what I've been, twice a week. And then I was trying to still do my workout. We joined a gym, the Sky Fitness gym, because it has childcare. So I can cut out some of those. I was thinking all the problems that I have, God help me to know how can I make this happen. So Sky Fitness Gym does that. And when I'm working out every day, it is good for me. I will say though, I took 2 naps this week. Monday I slept at the car dealership place because my poor car it has not had its TLC lately. Had to do that, spent a little bit of money because there was a bunch of things that needed done, and I slept the whole time in the lounge. But before that, I met this lady. It was just a quick run through. She said something to me, and she actually is going through a divorce, and she actually ended up praying over me and using her prayer language, and I slept. So I needed the rest anyways, but I snored, and so the guy that woke me up, I know he was like, I'm sorry I have to do this to you and wake you up, but I said, oh, it's good. A little slobber. I was like, wow, I really needed the sleep. And then the next day, I slept again. I went to Muskogee to do my paperwork, but it was really cool because I forgot my Social Security card here at the house with my checkbook, which is what we needed. So I ended up having to go to the Social Security office. And I was laughing because the young lady that got hired for another position that I'll be working with, she's a Hispanic, and she had all her stuff. And I said, hey, I'm just making you look good today. That's number one. And then number two was the lady I met at the Social Security office. We were supposed to meet. It was crazy. God had some awesome information for her, and here I am just saying it out to her. And I was so happy after I walked out of there. I told my boss, I was like, wow, this is crazy. I was supposed to meet that lady. I'm glad I forgot my Social Security card. So I think when we look at life and when things aren't working how we want them, think about maybe he's got a better plan. Now, we can have the other side of it because there is a war going on, but I'd like to see first, what is God doing with this? He's training me. Just like at the Solace Cafe, I love it. I love the craziness of it. It's like, got to calm people down though. Sometimes we get a little crazy and we think we got to have all this all the time. I said, people have to learn time too. There's a time for everything. Just like my 2.5-year-old daughter. We talk about Ecclesiastes a lot, off and on. I remember hating Ecclesiastes sometimes. I'm like, really? You're just going to tell me there's a time for everything? But there really is. And just like me forgetting something, it turned into a divine appointment that I had no clue was going to happen. So I'm so excited and that I got to do that. And I love it because this job is training me that I have so much time, and I got to make that time worth it, and I got to make it happen because I still want the quality and the high expectation for myself to still be met, but I have a time frame. So just like if I do women's ministry, I'm going to have to do the same thing because as women, there's so much that can happen to us, so much that is needed. And I've seen from other women's ministries how you can get so overloaded and overwhelmed, and I don't want to do that to my family, especially if it's just a volunteer thing. So I'm owning it that this is what He's training me. So I've decided in life, whenever you're going through stuff and something, is happening, you're either getting trained yourself or you're using the training He's given you. So it makes life a lot easier. And it's still going to be stressful, and I'm still going to have moments. Because I did cry on Tuesday after I'd woke up, and I was late almost to get Piper to dance. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what have I done to myself? I've added all this new stuff. God, what am I going to do here? I'm going to have to calm it down. Well, this is what He gave me. Trust me, and don't be afraid. Many things feel out of control. Your routines are not running smoothly. You tend to feel more secure when your life is predictable. Let me lead you to the rock that is higher than you and your circumstances. Take refuge in the shelter of my wings, where you are absolutely secure. When you are shaken out of your comfortable routines, grip my hand tightly and look for growth opportunities. Instead of bemoaning the loss of your comfort, accept the challenge of something new. I lead you on from glory to glory, making you fit for my kingdom. Say yes to the ways I work in your life. Trust me and don't be afraid. Really? I read this to Michael and was like, I needed him to say this on this exact day from a lady that wrote the Jesus Calling, Sarah Young. How long ago did she write this, And it's fit for that same day that I was freaking out going, I think, oh my gosh, Lord, what have I done? I need to slow down. I can't do this. I'm tired. I'm going to have to change everything, and I just don't know if I can do everything at the same time. And here he is just going, baby girl, I got it. This is good for you. This is part of my plan. So I'm really excited that God is doing crazy things. And yes, there's going to be days that are not good. Trust me. But I was having a conversation with a couple of people today, and I said, I think whenever I see people when they're praying so hard and they want something to change so much, sometimes God's answer is no. And it is not easy to accept no from Him. It really isn't. And sometimes it's worth it because He sees the whole picture. Remember, He sees the whole picture. We have to trust Him. Keep moving. Going in a direction and hoping God will help you. If you keep praying, God put everything where I need it to be. If I'm going down the wrong direction, give me a fork in that road so I can go down the right way you want me to go, where you need me to be. Because let me tell you, I could have freaked out Tuesday morning when I was sitting down and I realized that I'd forgotten my checks. Well, then didn't realize that forgetting my checks was forgetting my Social Security card, which was a big deal. But I didn't freak out. I thought, what else can be taken care of? I called the bank, got the routing number. Well, found out you had to have the check. And then I realized that was where my Social Security card was. But in all that moment, I didn't freak out. I just stayed calm and was like, God, hey, life happens. I can't change it. And I don't know. I know it's everything I've gone through. It's really helped shape and mold me. But there's going to be days, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to get it right. So just pray for me on those days even more than what you do on a daily basis. But I want to thank all of you. I know Lily's birthday's coming up next Friday. It's just crazy how 4 years has gone by so fast for her. And I love her and I miss her, but I'm just so grateful for her and what God used her to get to me and so many others. I'm so blessed that I've had that opportunity. And just like Sunday being Easter, to really think about being up on a cross and being pierced through your hands, through your feet, having a crown on your head, you're bleeding to death. You have a conversation with your Father, and He tells you no. Like He's like, why, oh, why have you forsaken me? But yet, God didn't save him, rescue him from that cross, because there was a plan. And He had to go through what He went through so we could have eternity. And that's just incredible. It just blows my mind to think all the pain I've ever felt, just how much more magnified that was. Because no matter how much of a mistake, all the mistakes we make, He was up on that cross. He fought hell and got the keys. And all we need is Him so we can have eternity. And let me tell you, I'm ready for that day when He comes home again and gets us and we get to just go. I remember reading a story on Facebook just last night, I think, about there was this painter that talked about you knock and He'll answer. Well, the thing is, there's a door that the guy had painted, and here's Jesus in front, but he didn't put a doorknob for a reason. Because God's ready. He's there. He's ready to get in. But we have to open the door, and this door is from the inside. We have to say yes to this. God's already willing. It's just crazy. It blows my mind. And I love the fact that God's given me a new set of eyes through everything I've been through to appreciate just what has been done for me. And I would want everybody in heaven too, forever. I could see why God hasn't brought Jesus back, because he wants more and more. He doesn't want to just end up to where it just ends. He just wants more people, more people, more people. And I can appreciate that, because if he would have stopped a long time ago, I wouldn't be here. And yes, life is not perfect. Trust me, I could have done without a lot of the things I went through. But I also wouldn't be at this level of appreciating life and seeing God's hands at work every day, all day. When you're at the end of your rope, just let go. Jump in his arms. He's wanting to catch you and be there for you. And every time we get stressed out and freaked out, it's because we're trying to do it on our own. We're not trusting God. Trusting God is not worrying. When you're worried, you're not trusting him. And I've learned that more and more every single day. And thanks for hanging in there. I know it's long, but I love you guys. And I just pray that you can really know that God loves us so unconditionally. He did watch his son die on the cross for our sins. He could have easily just said, forget it. But he loved us that much that we didn't have to do what previously was done before to get to be in heaven. And he made it easy, but it's still our choice. And yes, the things we do in our life, we don't always have a choice with how we were born or whatever. But we do have a choice for eternity. I love that, and I hate it at the same time. I wish I could just make that decision and then everything else would fall in place instead of having to still do life and still have free choice. I remember this saying I used to say is, God, I pray that you'll just, this is what I want. I want you to lead my life, take away my free choice. But I know he's up there going, I can't do that, because it wouldn't be fair. You know, you wouldn't want that really, to not have the choice. Just like a 2.5-year-old doesn't like not having a choice. She wants to have her choices. I know for my daughter anyways. I love you guys, and I just pray that you really enjoy the trainings that he's giving you and that you use what you've learned. Love you.